and if you did, you would get killed. Part of my ancestors had that story that people who are not a part of that community, they don't have that story, so they don't have that secondhand or the trickle down trauma, so it's not as important to them.
It kind of perpetuates this idea that the criminal justice system is good and that people are bad, and it kind of stays away from the narrative of like, oh, the criminal justice system is not good, and you know, people are good, and kind of like taking that over again, because it's like, what's going to happen if people realize that the justice system is not, you know, great, and there's a lot of problems with it.
I really need to take a little bit more interest in this. I said versus, all right, you know,
yeah,
okay,
just like paying attention and like, you know, partnering, and because no one person can do it by themselves.
Yeah.
And so it really is, it takes a lot of people reporting little pieces of like, oh, this was a missing piece, or oh, this was, you know, a cut mic, and you know, this is actually information, and kind of having a web of people that are trying to do the right thing, which is of course create a very informed citizenry that knows what's going on. Your headline is supposed to encompass what your entire story is about, the most important parts of it. And so I always say leave it for last, because it's going to be a lot easier to write that headline after you've written the entire story. Grab the reader's attention. And I would say grab it in a responsible way. Obviously, you don't want to do a bait and switch. You don't want to do like a sensationalist clickbait, which is like you have a headline and they click on it and they're like, what? This isn't anything what I thought that I was reading. So it needs to like clearly show exactly what the story is about, kind of assessing risks and how to kind of be familiar. And even if it's just an exercise in your mind, it's good to keep in mind, because while the situation is not like super volatile in the US for journalists, there's always attacks on journalism, on the freedom of speech, especially where we live in today, like the state. You can see even like through this current legislative cycle how they're trying to require journalism licenses. What's the problem if one station owns all the media?
We go back to when the church controlled all the media. I mean, it's one viewpoint, and that's it.
Yeah. Did you have something in the...
Sorry.
censorship?
Yeah, that too as well, right? It's not even just about getting people to believe things. It's about keeping people from knowing things. Yeah.